Hello Rockets, welcome back to the Rocket Report. This is Jeff Wise. I'm here with Tyler Clausen today for the beginning part of our video here. As always, we'll start out with the Rocket Report and then we're going to move into the meet the staff, and I'll have Mr. Clausen here for that as well. So for the basic part of the Rocket Report, I mentioned in June that we would have a quick discussion about our move to PowerSchool, and so that's why I asked Mr. Clausen to be here. So Mr. Clausen, if you'd like to take it away and talk about PowerSchool, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we are going to be one of the first schools in Northwest Ohio to be switching to PowerSchool, which is pretty exciting. You know, we're going to get ahead of the curve. The one thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody understands is that PowerSchool is going to be taking over for Progress Book. So instead of logging into Progress Book like you have in the past to check grades, you're going to be logging into PowerSchool. So just so that everybody knows that that's what you're going to be doing for your children. The big reason that we're moving to PowerSchool is, one, it is a very large company. They're constantly making changes to better themselves. They're constantly looking for ways to upgrade. They're purchasing other products so that they're to bring back to PowerSchool. So really what we're trying to do is create a one-stop shop for parents and kids. You know, once we get everything rolling through, this is the place. We have a site called My Power Hub that parents can go to. From there, you'll be able to see grades, attendance, the assignments, class schedule. You'll be able to message teachers directly, plus you'll be able to receive messages directly from teachers in that same area. And then eventually we're going to move away from final forms and we'll do our forms right in PowerSchool. So again, the goal of PowerSchool is to develop a one-stop shop for parents and kids, as well as going with something that's constantly being updated to keep up with the technology that's, you know, coming in the future. One thing that I do want to mention to parents is that we will put out 2 dates in August. We're going to have parent meetings for anybody that's interested in learning how to use PowerSchool. Anybody that has questions for implementing PowerSchool, basically a chance for parents to come and, you know, concerns, questions, get everything out there in the public so that they feel a little bit more comfortable. Those dates are TBA right now. We'll send a remind out with those dates probably around August 1st. But those will happen before school starts so that we can, you know, get ahead of the curve before this school year really kicks into gear.
And will we have some dates on the registration, or like a table at the registration days?
We will have a table at the registration days. I know you're going to talk about those here in a second, but we will have a table there so that parents and students can come and they can get their PowerSchool information on how to log in, the code you need to put in for your child, to add them as a student. So yeah, we'll have a table there, and either Garrett Hashbarger, Carter Knopfziger, or myself will be at that table throughout the entirety of the registration day.
Perfect, thanks. And I would just ask our community, our parents, to show us a little bit of grace as we're making this transition. Again, one of the other reasons we're making this transition is that Progress Book is no longer going to be supported, so it's going to just kind of be a dying entity. So we want to try to be proactive and get ahead. And like Mr. Clausen said, hopefully by the end of next school year, it'll be a one-stop shop. We'll have one single password for all of your PG logins, including final forms, a remind system, a communication system. So we just want to streamline it for you, but we will ask for some grace and patience with us as we make that transition. So anything else you think they need to know?
No, I think that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing people out at our meetings, and hopefully we can get all your questions answered and it goes fairly smoothly.
Right. So like we said, we do have registration days. These are what we do every year. The 2 registration days for this upcoming year are Thursday, August 8th from noon to 7, and then Friday, August 9th from 8 to 3. So as it fits your schedule, please come on out, and we'll do the normal things, buying yearbooks, taking pictures, getting your fees and forms, all that kind of stuff done. So like I said, we'll have a table there for you guys for that, and we'll get this PowerSchool going there. And then lastly, of course, I'm sure all the parents have this date memorized and maybe written etched in stone somewhere, but the first day of school is August 20th, so students, we're looking forward to seeing you, and parents, I'm sure you can start celebrating as soon as possible. So thanks so much, everybody, and we'll see you then in August. Bye. This is Jeff Wise again. I'm here in the elementary hallway. You can see I'm at the corner from the lower grades into the higher grades. And I want to talk about the flooring project we did here over the summer with Pandora Flooring here in town. Really appreciate the work they did for us. So I'm going to go over here and look first at Mrs. Dunlap's class and show you. This is the original flooring we had. This is the same flooring that's been here since the school was built. It's seen a lot of wear and tear and whatnot. And so we decided we'd start working on some replacement. And so I'm going to walk across here to show you what the new carpeting looks like. So we'll go over here to Mrs. Vina Cutter's room, and you can see the new flooring. It's like a darker color. Looks really nice, and it's the same location and all that. But we just thought it was time for an upgrade after 20 some years of being here. So just want to share that with you guys, and hope everyone's having a great summer. Thanks. Hello, Rockets. I just wanted to show you the state championship quiz bowl banner that Mr. Schmutz got for the team. The public small school Final Four banner for the national tournament in Chicago. Thought this was really cool and just wanted to celebrate the team. They did a really great job, really great season. And so this is here in our high school hallway. You can kind of see, if you're familiar with our building, where it is. But yeah, we're going to have it here. We left some room for hopefully maybe some more accolades down the road. And as you can see, our custodians are working hard to get the building ready for the students. But I just want to share this with you guys. I think these are really awesome and really sharp. And congratulations again to the quiz bowl team. All right, folks, we're back with Meet the Staff for July here. I brought Mr. Clausen back so we can get to know him a little bit better. So, Mr. Clausen, would you like to tell us where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Ottawa. I graduated from Ottawa Glandorf in 2007. Went to college. I started out at the University of Cincinnati and then decided education was the best route for me, so I transferred up to Bowling Green State University. Graduated in mild to moderate intervention. Haven't used it one day. I've gotten into technology, so but
Sure.
It was good to get into the education side of things.
And would you like anything you'd like to share about your family? Do you have any pets, anything like that?
I do. I am married. We will be celebrating our 10-year anniversary this September.
Oh, wow.
We're planning a trip to go, a big trip to celebrate that. Her name is Darcy. She is a massage therapist in Ottawa. So if you need a massage, go contact Darcy.
Little plug there.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
We have a little dog. She is 9 years old. Her name is Gracie. She's a Patterdale Terrier. Plus she's mixed with about 15 other different types of dogs. So, you see her, you think pug, you think somewhat bulldog. She's just a mess of a dog, but, we love her.
Right. Very good. So you've been here for a little while. So this is kind of a meet the staff, but also, you've been here for a while. What are your goals for your time here at PG? What would you like to accomplish here?
I would say the goals for the technology coordinator position is, I want PG to be at the forefront of technology. Something where schools are looking at Pandora Gilboa and saying, man, what are they doing? What can we do to be more like Pandora Gilboa? And that's really the goal of everything. And, we're stepping into PowerSchool, before 95% of the schools in Northwest Ohio. We are starting a STEM lab for our junior high, kind of bleeding into the high school as well, where they're going to do some hands-on activities, designing, 3D printing. They're going to get into some game design eventually. They'll do their robotics. They'll get to fly drones, race drones. We're going to try and make it pretty exciting for them. And then we're going to start podcasting and possibly live streaming basketball and or football games, where students can come in and they can actually announce the games. We don't need to go through a radio station. We're going to have students actually do that. So those are kind of the goals. We're taking on a lot right now and trying to move things forward.
Maybe but like a 5-year goal rather than next year goal. But
5-year goal in 1 year is kind of how we're working through things. But yeah, just trying to make sure that we're at the forefront of everything and, make schools jealous of what PG can do.
Right. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm excited about this lab too. I think it's going to be really good. So, so you are a new face, but you're also kind of not a new face because you've coached football here for several years. So how many years have you coached football at PG?
This will be my 7th year.
7 years.
Which is wild. It doesn't seem like that long, but yeah, 7 years.
And what have been your coaching responsibilities over time?
So since I started here, I've been the defensive coordinator. I coach linebackers, D-line, kind of switch back and forth depending on who else were our coaches for that. But mostly defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. So out of the time you've been here, out of the 7 years, do you have any like favorite, like specific memories that stick out, or players or anything like that?
Yeah. Aiden Morris's catch last year against Grove to win that game is by far number one. That was wild. Beating Macomb last year was an awesome memory just because of how well we played and how dominating Macomb was before that game, and nobody gave us a chance. So to come out and beat them, I think it was 42-14, was unreal. And then one of my earlier years, coaching Isaac Stahl, he played linebacker for me, and he broke the tackle record. Had over 30 tackles in one game against Arlington, and that was really exciting because he just, no matter where they ran the ball, he was there to make the play. And if he didn't make the play, then they scored. So it was.
I think my favorite Isaac Stahl memory was when he was like a halfback against Crestline. That was that was a whole different story. But Isaac, we love you, man. That was great.
That was awesome.
So we're coming up to the fall here. We're coming up to the new season. What's your take on the upcoming season? How's the team look?
We look really good. Kids are working hard. I think it's going to be a little bit different, with losing what we lost as far as our receiving core. We bring some of those guys back, but I think our offensive line and our running backs are really the strength, along with, obviously Corey is a strength, a 30-year starting quarterback.
Right.
But I think our run game is going to be really important for our offense this year. So it might look a little bit different, but I think as far as wins, losses, and how well we're going to play, I think we should look a lot like last year.
Cool. Very good. I'm excited for that season to come up. I know the guys have been working on it. I've seen them over there a little bit, so hopefully all that hard work pays off. Moving on, who would you say is like one of the greatest influences in your life? Somebody's influenced you to be the person you are today.
I thought about that one for a long time. This was really one of the hardest questions to prepare for. Obviously my parents. You always think of your parents, and they're pretty influential in your life. You realize as you get older how much they actually do for you and what they do for you. Right. Working full-time jobs, coming home and making sure that I went out and, Dad would shoot baskets with me. He'd be my wide receiver and run 55 routes for me to throw to, after work. That's exhausting. So, that's a huge influence. And then as far as like coaching and education, just previous coaches that I had, Ken Schreiner, Scott Mag, Brian Heapsch are really the three that really stick out, who pushed me to pursue education and really get into coaching. So I think they saw in me kind of a younger version of themselves, and they kind of pushed me into it. So I would say those three as far as that goes.
Those are some familiar names and faces here.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
In your free time, what are some of your favorite activities or hobbies that you do?
Traveling with Darcy and Gracie. That's probably the biggest thing. We try to go on trips, 2-3 times a year. One of our goals is to get Gracie to not all 50 states, the Continental 48, because it's pretty impossible to get a dog to Hawaii or Alaska.
Right.
So, getting her to all 48 states is kind of a goal. I think she's at 28 right now. So that's kind of cool. She obviously doesn't understand what's going on, but it's pretty cool to see her, hiking in the Appalachian Mountains and then, swimming in Torch Lake up in Michigan.
Yeah,
so,
right.
For us, it's kind of cool to see. We don't have any kids, so that's kind of
that's
what we do.
I can see that. Is there a specific area of the country that you like more than others, or, some place that just sticks out as like, wow, that was a really amazing place to visit?
Yeah, out west is so beautiful. I mean, it's so hard to describe, just the colors and the different elevation changes. Once you get west of the Rocky Mountains, you get into those national parks, and they're just amazing. So, the Grand Canyon is crazy. Just the sheer size of the Grand Canyon is wild. And I'm kind of jumping ahead because one of the questions is something that I've always wanted to do, and one day I need to start working out to do this, but we're going to hike the Grand Canyon from rim to rim, and that's kind of a goal of mine. So So yeah, sorry for jumping ahead.
No,
but
you're
that,
good. Yeah.
You know, talking about the Grand Canyon and everything. Those are kind of what we're looking forward to. But yeah, out west is just unbelievable.
I will say I've never done the Grand Canyon. That's one of my bucket list things. I have an aunt that lives in Arizona, so I think that can help facilitate that. But I did good. I've been to Yosemite, and Yosemite was just, it's all inspiring. You know,
Yep.
it can really change your perspective on life and
Yeah.
reaffirm your faith and things like that. So I get that.
When you're used to the cornfields and the beanstalks,
You're right.
you know,
Right.
you go out
It's a big
there and
difference. Yeah, that's true.
see that it's a little different.
Right. So you mentioned working out. What's your favorite guilty pleasure food?
Oh man, the one thing that it's so hard. Every time I drive through Columbus Grove, I almost have to stop and get a Buckeye Sundae from the Dairy Whip.
Oh yeah.
You know, no offense to the rustic, but the Dairy Whip, that Buckeye Sundae just hits differently.
I've
and
never had it there.
is
That's
so,
interesting.
oh, it's so good. And we go over there and Darcy will be like, all right, well, we can share something. And I said, no, I'm getting my own.
Right.
I'm getting the Buckeye Sundae. I know you don't want that, but that's what I'm getting. So
That's pretty good.
But yeah, that's the number one thing that every time I drive through,
Right.
it's hard not to stop.
Or maybe after a hard practice, you can make a little swing through Grove, right, all the way back to Ottawa.
Yeah, it's not too far.
I get that. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
So, with loving traveling, man, some of those 8-9 hour drives to get to some of these places is pretty rough. So I would say like some kind of teleportation,
Yeah.
or I could just say where I wanted to go and then just be there in a couple minutes. That would be great. So I would go with teleportation.
I think you're the first person that said that one. I think that would be mine as well.
Yeah.
For a lot of the same reasons. So
Yeah.
I get that. That's a good one. 2 more questions here. If you could be any kind of animal, what kind of animal would you be and why?
I'll probably be the only one to say this animal as well, but an orca, so killer whale. They're the apex predators of the ocean, so that's really cool. I went back and forth between like that and a cheetah or a tiger or something, but they're also one of the smartest animals in the world. So I guess being that for a day and learning how they communicate and everything would be really interesting to me. So that's how I would go about it.
Were those orcas that were attacking those boats, or were those?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that story or not.
They've sank quite a few boats in the Strait of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly recently.
Supposedly one got hit, and now the whole pond is mad. So
Right.
they're just taking them out left and right.
So if you have a boat, maybe don't take it over that way toward
Right.
toward Spain there. So that's an interesting one. I wouldn't have expected that. That's a good choice. All right, last question. It's a fun question. Do you have any silly fears? Anything weird or wild that you're afraid of?
So going back to the ocean, sharks is something that I'll get into the water about to my knees when we go to the ocean, just because,
Right.
man, that scares me. Just get eaten by a shark would be terrible. But so sharks, and then the biggest fear that I have is heights.
Oh yeah.
Climbing up a 6-foot ladder and my legs are shaking, hands are shaking, sweating real bad. But the wild thing is I love roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that I'm afraid of heights, but can ride the Millennium Force, no problem.
Right. What's your favorite ride at Cedar Point?
I would have to say Millennium Force.
Force,
Yeah, it used to be the Raptor, but I'm getting too old now. The Raptor hurts.
Right.
So Millennium Force is still smooth enough that I can enjoy it.
Right. Have you been to Kings Island before?
I have not for a while.
Okay, it's been a
But-
while. Did you ever ride the Vortex?
No.
So for those of you who didn't, I've been to Kings Island several times. They used to have a ride called the Vortex. They just took it out, I think last year maybe, but it had like 7 inversions. So you were like upside down 7 different times, and it was fun, but it was also pretty rough on you. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think Millennium Force is good at Cedar Point. I like Gatekeeper a lot. It's pretty smooth.
That's
kind of fun. So
Yep. Yeah, they have a ton of good ones out there.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's the Dragster used to be one of my favorites. Just staying in line for 4 hours to ride a 17-second ride, but I was always the one that hoped that it would go backwards.
right. You want to fall
I wanted to fall backwards.
Right,
just
right. Well, now it goes backwards on purpose. So
Right.
the upgrade. So yeah,
Right.
that's good. Yeah.
have to go back up there.
Well, and speaking of guilty pleasure foods, every time I go to Cedar Point, I get a funnel cake. I have to get a funnel cake. It's a top priority. So
That's
yeah.
same with the fair.
Yeah.
Every time Putnam County Fair comes in,
Yep. I
Get
did that. I did that too.
deep fried Oreos
Absolutely.
and a funnel cake.
Very good. All right, well, thanks for joining us, Mr. Clausen. Hopefully, learn a little bit more about your 10th grade football coach, and thanks so much. We'll see you next time.